So this is my insulin pen that I have to use 4 times a day, and to use it you just simply take the lid off, you dial up how much you're going to use, and then you simply take the little cap off and inject. It's incredibly frustrating when I hear jokes about the condition, purely because it shows people's lack of knowledge of the condition. The most stereotypical jokes you hear are people with diabetes are overweight or fat or whatever. As I have type 1, I have to inject myself 4 times a day. And if I didn't inject myself every day, then that would cause me to get seriously ill. Type 1 is where the pancreas stops working completely or only works a little bit and doesn't produce enough insulin around the body. This can happen at a young age or at any age. The condition affected my school life in a lot of different ways. For example, there'd be countless times where I'd have to be pulled out of lessons to go and take my insulin or check my blood sugar levels, and this could be incredibly embarrassing, especially with all the other teenage girls trying to fit in with the norms of being a certain weight, a certain look, and then having to go out and eat and things. It'd be incredibly embarrassing. I have a lot of very, very good friends, and they're all brilliant because they don't judge me for my condition. They all accept me for the condition, and I know that if I was put in a social situation where I couldn't look after myself, I could rely on each and every one of them to help me out in that situation. If I was to go out with friends, going out to a party or just out in general, for them it's very easy for them to just let go and have a good time, whereas for me the condition is constant and I have to do various checks and make sure that my sugars aren't going to go off the rails if I do let myself go. When my blood sugars are low, it feels very much that my brain is not in synchronised with my body. I get feelings of being lethargic, I'm tired, I'm shaky, and I feel very much like I could pass out. Whereas when my blood sugar is high, I feel very moody, you can get very aggressive, you can be very, very off with people. It does scare me when my condition gets the better of me, purely because I lose all control over myself and I then have to rely on someone else to look after me. This also can be incredibly traumatic for my family because they are in a situation where they've got to then look after me and get me out of this state.
I've seen Louise have a seizure before because of her diabetes. It's really scary to see for anyone, I think. I think it's important for more people to be aware of the condition. I feel scared for her sometimes.
It's incredibly helpful to have support, and I'm very lucky that my family are incredibly supportive. Mostly my father, my stepmum and my siblings. I've got 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and they're all brilliant in the fact that together we can all have a laugh together and they do not define me by my condition. Over the past couple of years there's been quite a few emotional struggles, but the most significant one was my mother dying. She died on the 14th of March 2015. My mother had bipolar disorder and MS all her life, and in March she contracted pneumonia and sadly passed away. We were incredibly close, and all I wanted to do was grieve for my mother, but it made it incredibly difficult to do that and also focus on keeping myself healthy. There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was a man in the moon, even sometimes he would go away too. Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying high. He came to me with the sweetest smile, told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, "Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely." And ever since that day,
me and Louise have a a very strong relationship. We've lived together for 12 years previously, and she has a lot of the same characteristics as my mum. She's very funny and kind, and I've always found it very easy to be comfortable around her. Me and Louise do fight sometimes. We fall out just as any other brother and sister would. The condition isn't really something that I would say affects us having like a normal brother and sister relationship. I still treat her the same as I would as anyone else in my family. When I see Louise's diabetes get the better of her, it makes me think of all the times where she might be on her own and she might be in this vulnerable state, and it makes me think that if more people knew about the condition, then she wouldn't be in as much danger, because the thought of her being in that vulnerable state on her own is a very scary thing to think about. If there's one thing that I could tell Louise, is that I'm so proud of how far she's come with her diabetes so far, and that if I could, I would take the condition from her. But obviously I can't, so I just wanted to know that I'm always going to be there to help her with it, and that I love her very much.
I wanted to be a stage actress and singer since a very young age, and it all started when my mum first bought me a karaoke machine for Christmas, and from there I discovered my passion for music and for singing. In the past, I've been involved in a huge variety of different shows and productions. The last group that I performed with was a group called Curtain Call, where we did shows such as Les Miserables, Grease and other things. I enjoyed these productions because it gave me the ability to become a different person. My condition affects my performance side because it prevents me from being able to perform straight away without having to check my blood sugars, make sure I'm maintaining my sugar levels and doing all of that. This is very different from someone who doesn't have diabetes, who is able to just go straight out on stage and perform. The message I have for someone who has recently been diagnosed with diabetes is that you are not on your own. There are so many ways you can get support for this. Just because your blood sugars might not be 100% at the moment, it doesn't mean that in time you are not capable of sorting them out and fluctuating them perfectly.
I heard that you're settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away.